Hi, I'm Marie Plutt from aspirationsresume.com, here to give you your daily resume tip. So today I would like to start talking about applicant tracking systems, or sometimes called applicant tracking software. In the industry, we just refer to this as ATS. And I'm going to do many different daily tips regarding ATS because, quite frankly, it is the very first gatekeeper for most applications these days. And even if your resume is spelled perfectly and grammatically correct, it won't mean a thing if it's not even seen. And I'll tell you, I'm planning to do 23 different daily tips, and only one of them touches on spelling and grammar. While spelling and grammar is incredibly important, it is just one small facet of what makes a successful resume. So I've been on TV shows and radio shows, and I'll have a host a lot of times will ask me, oh yeah, but it's all about spelling and grammar, huh? It really isn't. It's not 1985 anymore. We have to focus on applicant tracking systems. So why is ATS so important? Well, the reality is 75% of large companies use ATS. That's according to that's Capterra. They're pretty popular. However, I will say that the most popular, for example, is from Fortune 500 companies. Understand 98% of Fortune 500 companies use ATS, and I don't know what the other 2% could possibly use. That's sort of mind-boggling that it's not completely 100%, but they tend to prefer Workday, like Coca-Cola. If you apply on there, the little Workday logo will pop up and you'll be applying through Workday. This is incredibly common with large companies. Honeywell uses the most popular ATS in all of America, Taleo, which is Oracle, I believe, and it is preferred by smaller companies as well, and mid-sized companies, not just large companies. So understand that when you apply to anything online, these are technically ATS. Now there are other items they don't necessarily consider ATS, but all function the same way. Like Workday technically doesn't consider itself ATS because it's its own website versus software. These are all technicalities. In the industry, we refer to everything, including like Indeed or Monster, or when you're applying to a job through LinkedIn Recruit. All of these are considered ATS as far as we're concerned because it functions the same way. It is about keyword matching and prioritizing your website, your resume, based on keyword mix. ATS is almost like a Google search engine ranking, sort of, but it essentially works like this. If you have more keywords that match up with the job you are applying to, you're going to get ranked first. So if you went into Google and you typed up a very specific phrase that you wanted to search, the websites that have that specific phrase are going to be prioritized. Sort of the same concept overall. If you have a resume that has 0 keywords, if you're just spamming and have a generic resume trying to be everything to everybody, and you're trying to apply to, let's say, Pfizer, and you don't have anything to do with pharmaceutical industry, you don't say pharmaceuticals or medicine or any of the type of therapies that they're trying to develop medicines for, you're not going to even be seen. Okay, if your resume doesn't line up with the words that they are looking for in the job description, you're not going to be seen. And that brings me to the second point here. 70% of resumes aren't even seen by employers. So this is why it's so important. Most resumes that are put out online, they just sort of go into the great big void. This is why spelling and grammar, they're important. They are not the most important, because if the recruiter can't even see you to reject your crummy grammar, it doesn't even matter anyway. Okay, and we'll get into the rare keywords in a bit. Your resume length doesn't really matter, but it does a little bit. They do prefer it under 1,000 words if you're not going to an executive positions. So I'll get into the weeds of this as it goes, but I just wanted to give you an understanding of why this is so important. And I'm going to get into some details and some tips on keyword mirroring and matching and how to break through these systems. Also, very important to know that these systems don't really take, certain elements of your resume very well in terms of visual formatting. So, in the next upcoming tips, I will discuss with you how to format your resume so that it's ATS friendly. Thank you for watching today's daily tip. Again, my name is Marie Plett, and I am from aspirationsresume.com. Please contact me today if you are seeking only the finest in resume development.